What is up, YouTube? So I finally got to go see the Batman yesterday, and I went into this movie having heard a lot of good things, a lot of good reviews, and also by people I respect, a lot of middling reviews. Some 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10s, which are still good, but you know, they weren't blown away. They just enjoyed it. I didn't hear a lot of negative stuff, but I still try not to let that influenced me as far as um, how I was viewing the movie and what to expect out of it. I kind of went in assuming it would be decent, but not expecting too much. This will be non spoilers, so if anybody's worried about spoils in this, I won't be spoiling much, if anything. Um, but I have to say, after watching it, I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie. I was worried a little bit that Pattinson would be robotic as Batman, and I felt like he brought brooding definitely, but I feel like he brought a lot of humanity to the role. I mean, there were moments where he showed fear, where he showed that he was learning, where he showed what he struggled with mentally, which led him to becoming the Batman. Um, I feel like Zoe Kravitz did an amazing job as Catwoman, becoming my new favorite, knocking off Michelle Pfeiffer, which had been my favorite. Um, yeah, she definitely impressed me in this, and I can see that her character will develop and grow as the movies progress. Um, as far as people's reviews and ideas of this movie, I've heard some people say it's kind of art house. It's low action. Um, it is artistic. I'll give them that. It's very atmospheric. Um, could there be more action? Sure. The action was done well enough that I would not have minded seeing more of it. Do I feel like the movie suffered from lack of action? No, I feel like it hit its beats, and when that came, I was pleasantly surprised by the action, and I was gripped with how it was going to turn out, and the visuals of it were very well pulled off. Um, the tone reminds me of movies like Seven. It's definitely darker, but it's also with are in The Crow. The Crow is another movie I noticed. I was watching. I was like, man, this kind of feels. Where's Brandon Lee? But yeah, it was. I honestly came out of that movie feeling like I did not waste over 3 hours. Um, do I feel like this movie will ever connect as far as like a wider world, a la um, MCU? I don't think it will. I would love it to. I would love, now that I've given up on Henry Cavill being Superman, I would love to see a new version come in and relate to this world, and for DC to sort of take this tone. Not everything has to be dark and grim. I know that was sort of a criticism of some of their other movies, but at the same time, DC does hold that sort of serious note to it and can and has pulled it off really well. Um, I do look forward to some of the DC movies that are coming out, and I have enjoyed some of the DC movies that are before. I'm a fan. I'm a comic book fan. I mean, you can see behind me, um, Superman being my favorite hero, and I do feel like DC has dropped the ball a lot of times. I do not feel like DC has dropped the ball with this movie. I give this movie a pretty solid 8.5 to 9 out of 10, probably a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed all the elements of it. I enjoyed the cursory characters that you normally get to see in the Batman world being expanded upon, really being able to pop in new light, and not in a comical way, but in a way that you genuinely believe, yeah, this city, this atmosphere that they have built will produce these type of people, um, including Batman himself. And I really like that. I like feeling like Gotham is a character in the movie. Um, the Batmobile. It got so much crap from a certain sect of people, and oh, the scene where they show the Batmobile for the first time. Yeah, it's a nerd moment for sure. I think the people that will not enjoy this movie are the ones that only like the lighter Marvel movies and that type of thing where it's all flash and not as much substance. Not that the MCU doesn't have substance, but they have a certain amount of movies that are popular that are more Flash than Substance. That is not this movie. This movie is Substance with some shine to it. I don't think people will regret going to watch it. I did not feel like I was in the theater that long. By the time it came to an end, I was like, where's more? I'll watch more. Sequel. Put sequel out now. But yeah, I'm really happy that I went and watched it. I do think this will be a successful movie. They've already greenlit the second one. And with the mergers happening, it's really up in the air what DC and Warner Brothers will do with these properties. And with the multiverse coming into play with DC, if they can pull that off, I think they have a much richer set of stories to pull from for their multiverse than Marvel does, and Marvel's pulling it off even without that. So it just depends. You know, we won't know until the movies come out and we can view them for ourselves. But yeah, I definitely think people will enjoy having gone and watched this, and I don't think you'll waste your money. Hey, and look, I'm sitting here with you, fingers crossed, hoping DC works their stuff out because they have great characters, and, you know, I want to see more of them. Hope you guys are well, and I'll talk to you soon.